Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Recently I made a video that's done really well for some reason. That kind of shared my thoughts on how I felt about the current state of BattleBit and how I felt like it was kind of dying. But in comparison, I wanted to take a look at a game that actually is dead, or dying, or whatever you want to call it. As you can see, I'm going to put a little graphic on the screen. The game is very low in population, unfortunately. And I've been wanting to make this video for like a month. I just haven't. But it's interesting to me to see a game that is like this game because it's so much potential wasted, I guess is a good way to put it. They worked really hard and they're still working on it. The game's called World War III. It's free to play. Anybody can play it right now. Um, they worked on it for so long and so hard, and they're still making updates for the game, and yet pretty much nobody plays it anymore. There's a number of reasons why I think that happened, but for the most part, I feel like somewhere along the line, just too many things kind of stood in the way of it really going anywhere. Some of it being maybe poor marketing. Some of it being that COD Modern Warfare 2019 came out, and that was a really good game, a game with name recognition. This was a small. I don't know if it was a small studio, but it was a fairly unknown studio, as far as I know, that was making the game. And so it was really kind of shitty because, back in when it came out, it was a game that was trying to fill a hole that was in the FPS uh, genre, community, whatever you want to call it, and they were looking to make something that was more akin to Battlefield 4. Because Battlefield 5 had been released, it was World War II. It was kind of not a great Battlefield game. A lot of people didn't feel the same Battlefield-y things from Battlefield 5, and a lot of people wanted, after Battlefield 1, for them to go more back to a modern era. And then they didn't, which was kind of weird. I understand why they went from World War One to World War Two, but I think had they had gone back to a modern shooter, it might not have done as poorly as Battlefield 2042 is now, and it may not have gone as poorly as Battlefield 5 did, but that's neither here nor there. This game looked to fill that hole. It's a crazy way that it all happened because originally the game was $30, I think, is what they were asking for. And then I at the time didn't have the money, so I didn't buy it. But a lot of people did. A lot of big YouTubers made videos on it. I think some people had sponsored streams for it and everything. Like, there was some sort of marketing involved, but it really wasn't a lot, I guess, or at least it wasn't enough, because a lot of people that I know had never even heard of this game before, and it's been out for years. They're on like their sixth season. I don't know how they're calculating their seasons and how long they last, but their last big major update was for like season 6 or 7 or something like that. It's crazy. And the gunplay is a lot of fun, and there's so much that this game has going for it. It's just people don't really know about it. But they were trying to fill this hole that was really needed at the time. But then COD Modern Warfare comes out, and then at some point they decide to make the game free to play. But I do think that they did that a little too late. They could have done that from the start and maybe charged for like skins or cosmetics or something like that, like a lot of games these days do. But I don't think that $30 was too much to ask for a game that was as robust as this game was. To me, I think the mistake was that there just wasn't enough like real marketing for the game. Some people had heard of it, other people hadn't, but it just wasn't enough. And I think if they had gotten better marketing, they really could have shown off the game more. But when they went free to play, like I said, I think it was just a little too late for everything, and then there was the whole like, what do we do, because people aren't playing the game right now. It's free to play, but had it gone free to play from the start and just offered up cosmetics or something in order for them to make some revenue on it, it might still be going today a lot stronger than it is. I mean, there still seems to be like a pretty core community that plays the game. I mean, obviously enough people were playing that I was able to get into a game, like a full game, that wasn't just team deathmatch. They have a few different modes in the game. One's kind of like conquest-ish to Battlefield, and then there's like team deathmatch. I think there's domination, stuff like that. You know, normal FPS kind of game modes, I guess. But you know, it's unfortunate because in hindsight, you know, they can probably figure out exactly what they needed to do. But I also fear sometimes that it's a little too late for that. But at the same time, I think about it, and it's really not too late. I think if more people hear about it and learn about it, they could get some real numbers back, which is part of why I wanted to make a video like this. I mean, I'm just one guy who has like 73 subscribers, who I'm pretty sure most of them don't even actually watch my videos to begin with. But I really think that if my BattleBit video that could get 2.8 thousand views, you know, and get people talking, that maybe this could potentially do the same thing. I don't really know. I'm just a guy, you know, but I really liked this game. The gunplay was fun. The maps were a lot of fun, and I've only played on a few. I haven't even played on all the maps because I never have had the chance to. But the way that the game works, it works well for what it is. I want to say it was built on Unreal 4, but I honestly don't remember. The guns they have in the game are fun. You know, the sniping in the game is a lot of fun, which is a big thing for me. You know, they have a ton of attachments. They have a ton you can do to your guns, more than just 5 attachments like in Call of Duty, but it's not the same as Battlefields. It's a little more like Insurgencies, really, where it's kind of like a weight system thing. You can have different armor plates. There's just a lot that goes into this game, more than I can really talk about in like 9 minutes or whatever this video is. I'm going based off the footage that I have already, and that was 9 minutes. But it's just sad to see the state of a game that had so much promise and so much potential to basically be nothing, especially when it's free. Like, I think it's like 110 gigs or something like that, around there, which I don't know where all that space, like, what is taking up that much space other than maybe the maps and everything, but you know, it's kind of interesting to me. But that's just kind of how big games are these days anyway. But you know, to me, I think that was also part of the problem, is that it released on Steam, but then they had their own launcher. They released it for $30, and then if people didn't like the game, or because it was already dying, you know, before it really had a chance to stand on its legs, people would spend time in the launcher actually installing the game. I think the launcher itself is like maybe 100 megabytes in Steam, and then you have to download the 100 gigabytes or whatever it is in their launcher. That takes more than 2 hours for most people. So then they couldn't refund the game if they didn't like it, and I think that was a big thing that turned people off. But now the game's free to play, so it doesn't really matter. And I think that it is a shitty business practice, but I mean, it is in the past, and as far as I know, I haven't heard of anything that they're doing that was intentionally malicious. Even that, I don't think was intentionally malicious. I think that they had built the game to be sort of multi-platform, you know, and it just turned into it being that, you know, that's how it worked. And that's really unfortunate, because I think some people feel that they were cheated out of their money. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I really appreciate if you watched, and I will talk to you all in the next video. I hope you're having a good day.